Hello, Milky friends. It is MelkStehul. Fingers crossed. This is the third and fucking final time I record this video. The first two times I recorded the video, the audio has not come through for some stupid reason. The mic did not work, and every time you do content, it's kind of like telling the same joke over and over again 3 times. You kind of stop laughing at your own shit, which is just depressing. So hopefully this works. Anyway, rant over. How is everyone? I hope you are well. Happy Wednesday. It's a Wednesday night here in Sydney, Australia, and we are here to talk about the World Arena, or what they call the Interdimensional Arena. And so this was a big surprise for most of us, because I think with most updates, we all expect it to come Friday when the new event comes around and resets and then they introduce the game mode. This one was completely unannounced. I mean, we knew it was always coming, but it just dropped and no one knew about it. One day there was an update, then the arena setup phase was on, and then we're now into day 2 of a full-blown World Arena. I don't know why they call it Interdimensional Arena. They should just have stuck to World Arena. It's shorter and catchier. And that's why I'm going to call Interdimensional Arena in this video. I'm going to call it World Arena, so just ignore the fact that it's called IDA. Because no one's going to call it IDA. Right, so what is World Arena? A World Arena is effectively 2 game modes stuck into one, with some exceptions, right? It's basically Crystal Crown League, and then if you get high enough, it converts into Trial of the Champions. So if you go into World Arena, for the aim of the game is to get as high level as possible. And the way you get that is you do a bunch of matches. The more matches you win, the more points you get. The more points you get, the higher you progress through each of these levels. And obviously you get much better rewards as you go up the different levels, which you've all worked that out, right? Higher the level, slightly better the rewards. So then, how is it a mixture of modes? Basically, up until Runner, it's a sort of a 1v1 battle. So like 1 team of 6 versus 1 team of 6. As soon as you hit Mediator, the other 2 slots open up. So then it's now 3 teams of 6 versus 3 teams of 6, which is very much like Trial of the Champions, right? And then, what am I doing? Don't do that. No, don't save changes. Got excited. Whoa, calm down. So after that, it becomes 3v3. And then at some point, the other slots open and it becomes 5v5. No one has that many E5 heroes, right? Even the top guys, if you look at the top guys' overall rankings, at most, the top guys have 3 solid teams of E5 heroes, right? So no one has anywhere near enough heroes to fill out 5 teams of 6 E5 heroes. Well, not that I can tell. So, the 2 important exceptions. It's Crystal Crown League up to a level, and then Trial of the Champions. Then it's Trial of the Champions with, on steroids. At a certain level after. I think it might be Overseas or something like that. I don't know. I'm not there yet. But the 2 important exceptions to World Arena, unlike Crystal Crown League or Trial of the Champions, 1, you cannot revenge. So if someone attacks you, you cannot attack them back. 2, you don't, and because someone can't attack you, you don't lose points from people attacking you, so you can't be farmed. You can lose points from losing battles, but you cannot lose points from someone attacking you. So those are 2 very important distinctions. And so, guys, I've made a number of observations, and I'm going to tell you the so what of those observations. So the first one I talked about, right? Mixture of Crystal Crown League, Trial of the Champions. 2 important exceptions I've talked about, right? So what's the so what? Well, the first so what is that because they've introduced Trial of the Champions and because there's a component of Trial of the Champions and then the 5v5, it favors the long-term players because no one would have had enough time to acquire the food necessary to build that many E5 heroes. And the one constraining factor in this game is how quick you can acquire food. Don't worry about all of the pink stuff or the purple stuff or all that other shit. The one thing that slows down everyone, and which they've tightly controlled in this game, is the amount of food you can get and how quickly you can get it. So if you look in the overall rankings at the top 100 players, there would be very few people from the newer servers. Everyone here is from an old server. S1, S22, S19, S2, S20s. No one from an unmerged server, as far as I can tell. So let's keep going through that list. See, S2, S3, S15. Why? Because these guys haven't had enough time. And speak of the devil, this guy, he's in 44. But the top few guys, they've had enough time to acquire the food to build those very powerful E5 heroes, like 12 to 18 of them. And that's what you need to get to the higher ranks. Because at the higher ranks, it's not 1v1 anymore. It's 3 teams versus 3 teams, and then 5 teams versus 5 teams. Who the hell has that much food? Only players that have played long enough to acquire all that food over time. The exception is obviously this guy, Happy Holidays, but look at his overall power, 500,000. I have more power than this guy right now. He's spent more than me, but I can crush this guy in a heartbeat, right? Because he doesn't have the power to stay there. And he's going to spend a lot of tickets to keep that rank. I guarantee you, because everyone in the top 100, as they're fishing around for weak players to attack, guess who's jailbait number 1, right? It's this dude here. This guy's going to be everyone's whipping boy. He's not going to lose points, but everyone's going to farm him or like look for him, and it's going to cost them nothing to beat him, but he's going to have to keep rematching and waste tickets just to keep that rank if he wants to stay there, right? So top 100. Who else is from an unmerged server? This guy, Wing, right? 660,000 power, as much power as I do. I also can beat this guy hands down. I've spent way less than him, probably, because there's no way you can get to 6 million power, without spending a fuck ton of money and basically doing buying all the orbs possible every time there's an orb event on, and all the scrolls every time there's a scroll event on, and buying everything in sight, basically. Only then can you get that much food, accelerate your food production. So I think that's it. Top 100, 2 guys from unmerged server. That substantiates my point, right? The fact that this world arena favors people who have played the game much longer than newer people, because they've had the time to acquire the food. And I've actually made this point to the devs. I've basically said to them, if you go to my message history, because they'll listen to me because I'm VIP 11. Okay, so I've said to them, question. Okay, so I had a ticket question. I asked first, how come it costs so much tickets in World Arena? The more you play, the more expensive it is. How do I know at which point the number rises? And so for those of you that don't know, the first 5 battles cost 2 tickets, and then every set of 5 after that costs you an additional ticket. So the first 5 cost you 2 tickets per match, then the next 5 cost you 3 tickets per match, and then so on and so forth, right? I didn't know that. It wasn't clear to me. So then I said to them, oh, hang on. Is there any way to buy 4-star heroes quicker? World Arena is unfair for newer players, so I just talked about this. No way we can catch up without amassing 4-star. They gave a very stock standard answer. You can get 4-star from Marketplace, event raids, and profit trees. Thank you for stating the obvious, Bella. I mean, I'm a VIP 11, and I have played for nearly 2 years now. I didn't know that. Thank you for that. And yes, I am being insincere. I do apologize. That was absolutely said with 100% sarcasm. So Bella, at the same time, we'll surely pass on your feedback to devs. No, you won't. So then I said, just to be clear, just so she got the point, because I don't think Bella plays the game as much as I do, or certainly understands the mechanics as much as I do, right? That is my point. People on server 1 to 10 have a 1-year head start on collecting 4-star food that newer players can never beat, right? Simply, the passage of time dictates that, because you can only do so many smashes a day in event raid and Seal Land as well without it kind of blowing up. They're purposely restricted. They know that if they open up event raids, so then you could buy unlimited smashes, newer players would catch up in a heartbeat, and that would just perhaps kill the game, right? But if you do shit like World Arena and you don't give a chance for newer players to ever catch up, because they'll never get enough food to catch up to the players that start out early. They're going to drop off. The new players are just going to drop off, and then World Arena is just going to be literally something for the older players, and uber whales from newer servers, like the 2 that we saw, they're just going to spend to get to the top, right? So I said to them, that is my point. Look, we'll never catch up. You have to give new players an option to spend gems to catch up, allow them to buy food at the start. And obviously, I said to them over time, let's say, at the start, you can, I don't know, let's take a rent raid, for example. Let's say you can buy 100 smashes at the start, just so then you can catch up to a point where you're broadly, at least reasonably competitive with an older player. Because you don't want to make it so unfair that someone can start again and just beat an older player within a couple of months, right? Over time, you can take away the number of daily smashes, event raids, that a newer player is entitled to just to slow them down, right? So I get that. So that's why I said when I said less food as you play more, because I said the only difference between me and the top player, and I've already made this point in World Arena, is time. That's why all top players in World Arena are from early servers. Even lower VIP from early server is stronger than me, simply because they've had more time to acquire the food to build a bunch of E5 heroes. Thanks for your D-Plot supplement. Have taken note of that and will pass on the devs. They'll do fuck all. I already know that. But this game is rigged towards longer term players. The other point, the other so what is that it's going to be very expensive to actually rank up to win. You actually have to spend a lot of tickets to get to the top, especially if you're a weak player. And that's because of these 2 points. One, you can't lose points from people attacking you. And two, you cannot revenge attack. Meaning, weaker players have the opportunity to get up there by spending a fuck ton of tickets. Right? So, success in World Arena is a function of two things. One, just having a very powerful team, which is a function of how much time you spent on this game. And also how much you've spent to an extent. But also how many tickets you're willing to pay to look for weak heroes to get enough points. Well, to look for not weak heroes, weak players to exploit to get to the top. Because number 44, where was he? What's his name? You can guarantee, where is he? This guy, Happy Holidays, right? Unmerged server. He would have spent a fuck ton of tickets to get this far. Because it's not easy looking for weak players that you can beat in the top 100. Everyone's got 10 million overall power, right? He's only got half as much. So he's got to look for very specific teams. So he's either done a lot of rematches or he spent a lot of tickets just fighting. So that's the first observation and the first so what. The second observation is that going quick in this game will disadvantage you. So in the first day, when the arena opened, you could fight. Literally within the first 30 minutes, I was one of the few that was chasing points. And everyone that I was coming up against had like more power than me. I was literally losing like every 3 or 4 battles I was doing because I couldn't find anyone weak enough. And it got to the point where I was spending 9 tickets per match. And I thought, whoa, hang the fuck on. 9 tickets per match is so expensive. I'm not getting anything out of it, right? Second day it rolled around. It took me, every match I did, I beat every single person. And that was because I hadn't allowed enough time to progress for players to propagate throughout the ranks of World Arena, right? You need the weak players to have come in and played to rank and exceed your rank. And so the thing to keep in mind is this is a 24 day event. And this is very much a tortoise race. You get nothing for being number 1 for 21 days. It's who's basically number 1 at the end of it, right? So you jockeying for position at the start is just a complete waste of tickets. Complete waste of tickets. Wait for the weaker players to overtake you. Do the bare minimum every day. So do enough to get the daily quest, which I'll talk about. But then let all the weaker players overtake you. Because then it's going to cost you far less rematches. So your time and far less tickets. Because you're going to get those random unknown matches as well. It's going to cost you less tickets, less time to rank up towards the end than it is right at the start when everyone's like just flash out of the gates. Because the only people playing within the first hour were literally whales that had way too many tickets. That's why I lost so many matches at the start. And so when I realized, hang on, I should slow down. This is a very long event. And I should let the weaker players overtake me so then I can overtake them towards the end. that's when it dawned on me, this is a tortoise race. It is not for rabbits, right? And consequently, so what that means is my strategy is this now for World Arena. I'm going to spend the first 20 days just doing the daily quests, the bare minimum to do the daily quests. Then in the last 4 days, I'm going to chase rank. And the reason why you chase rank over 4 days and not 1 day, again, it's because it's a tortoise race and tickets are very expensive. If you chase rank the last day, you don't know how many matches it's going to take you to get to where you think or hope to get to, right? And so, you know, you could end up doing like up to 40 matches, in which case it's going to cost you like, I don't know, over 10 tickets per match just to chase rank. Whereas if you spread that out over 4 days, the chasing of rank, the upgrading of rank, it's going to cost you less tickets, right? So that's why that's my strategy. Daily minimum, or just do the daily quests, and then last 4 or 5 days, that's when you start to chase rank. Spend a bit more tickets to get to the rank that you think you can comfortably sit at without needing to spend just way too many tickets, right? So that's the second observation and the second set of soul words. The third observation, everyone's already picked up on. World Arena's just for whales with big dicks. It's a big dick measuring contest with a couple of important exceptions. It's for really stupid whales. It's for the kind of dumb cunts that... Oh, I shouldn't say that. So it's for the kind of dumb individuals that buy bottles at clubs, what they call bottle service, right? So it's just to show off. But I say it's dumb because there's no point showing off in this game. One, because we don't know who the fuck you are. We don't care who you are. This game will never be esports. You don't get the hot girl at a club. You don't get any girls. You don't even get the fucking sparkler. So then what the fuck is the point of actually winning in this game? What's the point of progressing if you get nothing? And whales, the ones with too much money, they don't realize that, but it's going to come a point in time where they go, hang the fuck on. Why am I burning through all this money just to stay on top in some meaningless game, right? Because one, the rewards aren't that great. They don't need this. This is a rounding error. The rewards that they get, the gems, the dust, even the heroes they don't need, right? Even the frame's kind of technically useless. So plus 10 HP, plus 3 attack, right? Keep in mind, guys, even if you're a junior burger, you're going to get a frame with plus 3 HP, which effectively makes that whale's plus 10 HP frame only worth plus 7. Because remember, this is a relative game. Back to the point about auras. If everyone gets plus 10 at the same time, no one's gained anything, right? You think you've gained something, you've gained nothing. So even the weaker players get a plus 3 flame. So at some point, those whales are going to wake up. They're going to realize, you know what? Fuck it. It's not worth getting to the top anymore because Wizmo, FHCZ, GDP, no one knows who the fuck you are. You're not getting any girls. This will never be an esports. And you would have realized at the end of it that you just wasted money getting on the top for nothing. Right? I mean, at the very least, at least the guys that are buying the bottles, they get the girl and they get the sparkler, right? I did, to be frank, to be fair, I did buy one of these bottles once at a club, and that was the only time I did it. It cost so much. I felt so shit afterwards when I realized how much the bottle cost. I could have gone around to this corner store, bought this exact same bottle of champagne for 1/10 of the price, and spent another $200 on a hooker, and when I've had a much better time. This is just stupid. The people that do this are just like, they're idiots. They're just complete idiots. And there's obviously a lot of idiots that play this game. But you could argue, MelkStehul, you're kind of idiot yourself. You're VIP 13. This game, or you're VIP 11. You've paid thousands of dollars playing this game that no one cares about. You don't get any girls out of it, blah, 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 blah. You're right. I'm an idiot as well. But as much of an idiot that's, willing to pay thousands more to chase rank compared to these guys, no. So I'm only a half idiot, to be honest, right? So that's the third observation. This is a really a dick measuring contest for whales. We can sit back and just whale watch and admire them just float around in the natural environment and just woo, attack each other. It's just silly. At some point, they're probably going to come to the realization, this is just silly. I'm going to just not either spend this game anymore or trying hard. And guys, honestly, that's when they've quit, that's when you come up and you try hard. Because I reckon the first month, everyone's going to go hard on chasing Maverick and Observer, right? And so if you're just outside of that, if you're just like a Protector 1, Protector 2, which is where I'll probably end up, I'm okay with that. Because I know over time, people will drop off, and I'll keep playing. I'll get enough food to get to the top. And eventually I'll get a Maverick, right? Just to say that I've got this fancy frame and that I've actually got a Maverick. And once I get the Maverick, don't care anymore. That I've lost interest in this mode. Because the rewards that you get from this, the pink dust and the gems, they aren't that great. They should make these orbs, right? The rewards aren't great enough for me to spend thousands of dollars to chase a top 100 rank. So, third observation, third so what? Fourth observation, and this is much more pleasant for everyone, are the great rewards that you get. Guys, you're getting a lot of free stuff. Like, yeah. You could. There'll always be people that argue, oh my gosh, this is completely unfair. So, if you pick up on this video at this point in time, you're in great place. But if you watch this whole video up to this point in time, firstly, thank you for listening to my rant. But secondly, you would have come away thinking, oh my gosh, this new mode's just for whales. I can't get anything good. Not true. You're getting a bunch of great stuff as a free-to-play or a low-ranked player. So let's talk about what you're going to get. Every single day, you're going to have the opportunity to do these daily quests, which in itself is great. There's just more stuff to do in this game, right? You're going to do these daily quests, and you're going to be able to get these rewards. So if you do up to 5 battles, you're going to get all this stuff. Then if you win at least 3 of those battles, you're going to get some gems. And then if you get a hidden opponent, and there's a 1 in 10 chance, there's a 10% chance, meaning there's a 1 in 10 chance of getting a hidden opponent, you don't even have to win. You're going to get one of these. You're going to get a scroll, right? So what does that mean? I've done my classic MelkStehul analysis. So you're going to get 371 gems, bottom line, right? I've done the conversions to gem equivalent for everything. And so this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 371 gems in reward if you do all the daily quests. So the next question is, well, MelkStehul, at what point do I stop with matches? Like, I want to chase the 371, but at what point do I can keep spending on tickets. At what point do I stop? The break-even point. Great question. Before I answer that, let's talk about the price of a ticket, right? So right now in the marketplace, you can buy 10 tickets for 120 gems, meaning each ticket is 12 gems. In the Aspen Dungeon, and I could be wrong, Burnack, if I'm wrong, I'm sure you'll correct me, I think you can buy 20 tickets for 200 gems, meaning each ticket only costs 10 gems. I think you can also buy it for gold from the little kid, right? To be conservative, I've said each ticket costs 12 gems, right? So then let's go to the break-even analysis. At the very top row is the number of attempts it takes, or that you do, the number of matches that you undertake. The cost of the number of tickets you need is at the bottom. So for the first 5 matches, remember I said at the start, it costs you 2 tickets per match. So if you do 5 attempts, 5 matches, it's going to cost you 10 tickets. On your 6th try, you're going to spend 13 tickets, because remember, the next set of 5 matches is going to cost you 3 tickets per match, right? Multiply that out, the number of tickets you're going to use by the number of gems it costs per ticket is this row. Then rewards, we've already talked about. Then the profit and loss is simply the rewards minus the cost. And so what this shows is that you should keep basically trying to find or to win matches up until your 11th match. At the 11th match, you're still making a profit. When you start doing any more than that, you're making a loss, right? So that's the key takeaway. You're going to get a bunch of free stuff. And if you can do it, if you can complete the daily quest within the first 5 matches, you're going to get the maximum amount of rewards. But you're going to keep getting rewards up until your 11th match. So every day, do 11 matches, no more, right? And if you can do it in 5, stay at 5, because that's your maximum profit. So that's the third takeaway, fourth takeaway point, fourth observation, which I think is, look, to their credit, it's a great new mode. new energy in the game. It's kind of exciting. People will get tired of it real quickly. They're just going to treat it as like, if you were never a P2P player, it's going to be a chore for you like it is for the Crystal Crown League. It's going to be a chore for you like Trial of the Champion. It's going to be a chore for you like Fukushima Arena, which I'm 5th. Okay, so it's a chore for me, but I do it because I need the profit orb. These 3 events I do because I need the profit orb rewards. And it's worth it that I stay up and I complete it at the end of the season. This World Arena, like I said, just for whales that are kind of dumb. Let them flutter around, let them do their thing. Let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy and watch the matches. If anything, it's going to give you ideas for your Trial of the Champions lineup, because when you get to a 5-on-5 situation and you see that they don't have enough heroes to fill out that team with just all E5 heroes, you're going to get some pretty funky combinations. And that's what I'm looking out for. The new 6-star, well, six player, 6 hero teams that aren't all E5, right? It's some oddball combination that is powerful enough to knock out a full E5 team. So I don't know what that is right now because I haven't done enough matches, but that's what I'm expecting from the higher ranked players, or the weaker players who make it into the higher rank. Like, for example, this guy, right? He's nowhere near full strength, right? I can probably beat this guy because I would just pick on this team. And who else would I pick on? I'd probably pick on the first team. No, it's got Kasuga. The second and third team is who I would pick on. But when you get to a 5v5 situation, he's going to have to spread this team out even further. And that's where you're going to get very interesting lineups, very interesting ideas to help you out in Trial of the Champions. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So it's thumbs up for me. It's no skin off my back. I've already told you about my strategy. I think it's definitely very much a slow game until you get to the end, the last 4 days, and then you probably spend a bit more if you're chasing rank. But I'm happy. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching my video. I hope you found that video useful. Leave a thumbs up if you did. Have a great week ahead, and I will talk to you again for the Wishing Fountain event in 2 days. Thanks, guys.